So we're always seeking for someone else upon whom to push the responsibility. We won't take it ourselves. We're always complaining that where we are is the result of our past. My mother and father were neurotic, and therefore they made me neurotic. And their fathers and mothers were neurotic and made them neurotic. And so it goes back to Adam and Eve. And you remember what happened in the Garden of Eden. God set a trap by saying there is that specific tree and you mustn't eat the fruit of it. If he had really not wanted them to eat the fruit, he wouldn't have said anything about it. But by drawing attention to it in this way, it was obvious they were going to eat it. So when he saw Adam looking guilty, and he said, Adam, hast thou eaten of the fruit of the tree whereof I told thee thou shouldst not eat? And he said, the woman you gave me, she tempted me and I did eat. And he looked very severely at Eve and said, Eve, have you eaten of the fruit of the tree whereof I told thee thou shouldst not eat? And she said, the serpent beguiled me. Passing the buck, you see. And God looked at the serpent. This isn't written in the Bible, but they winked at each other. Because they had planned long in advance that the universe was not going to be a merely obedient arrangement. Well, I, God, say you shall do thus and so, and you will automatically do it. There would be no fun in that, because there would be no surprises. So it is the Hebrew theology that God put into the heart of Adam at the creation a thing called the Yetzer Hara, which means the wayward spirit. Just a kind of little, just like when you make a stew, you put some salt in it. You don't want the whole stew to be salt, but just a touch. See? So God, in creating Adam, put just a touch of wickedness so that something surprising and different would happen, which God would not be able to prognosticate. Now this is very important. You see, what we're going to talk about mainly is our sense of identity, our sense of alienation, and the complications we put ourselves into by regarding survival as a duty. These all connect together. You may not see the connection immediately. But if you imagine yourself in the position of being God, in the literal popular sense of God the Father Almighty, it means you're a male chauvinist pig. And you're in charge of everything. You know all pasts, you know all futures. You're completely in control of the cosmos. You have absolute power. And you're bored to death. So you say to yourself, man, get lost. I want a surprise. And here you are. Only you mustn't admit it. The hallmark of insanity is to know that you're God. That's absolute taboo. Not only in the Christian religion, because Jesus got crucified for knowing that. And the Christians said, okay, Jesus was God, but let it stop right there. Nobody else. But the gospel was the revelation to us all that the Hindus knew forever. Tattvamasi, you're it. And if Jesus had lived in India, they would have congratulated him for finding out instead of crucifying him. There have been many people in India who knew they were God in disguise. Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramana Maharshi, Sri Krishna himself, Buddha, everybody, they discovered it. Because it's not an exclusive claim. I alone am that, but you all are. And as I look into your eyes, I see the universe looking back at me. So we're in a situation where it's a taboo. We mustn't admit that we know who we are. so as to have the thrill, the sort of self-goosing effect of feeling lost, feeling strange, feeling alone, of not belonging. And we say in popular speech that I came into this world. You did nothing of the kind. You came out of it. Just in the same way as the fruit comes out of the tree, the egg from the chicken, the baby from the womb. We are symptomatic of the universe. We are its nerve endings. Just as in the retina, there are myriads of nerve endings. So all of us are nerve endings of the universe, and there are many of us, so that the universe's point of view of itself will not be prejudiced. It will be many-sided. And so fascinating things happen. We want to find out what it is that's going on. And we look with telescopes to find the farthest out things, and with microscopes to find the farthest in things. And the more powerful our instruments become, the more the world runs away from us. As our telescopes become more powerful, the universe expands. Because it's ourselves running away from ourselves. The more accurate our physics becomes, and we investigate the nucleus. Some years ago, we thought we had it. We found a thing called the atom. And that was that. Then, whoops, an electron turned up. Then, bang, there was a proton. And then, when we got after those, there came out all kinds of things. Mesons, antimatter. And it got worse and worse and worse because we got sharper. Yeah? And so, we are a self-observing system, which is like the snake, the Ouroboros, that bites its own tail and endeavors to swallow itself to find out what it is. It's like the whole quest of who am I? I would like to see me, but look at your head. Can you see it? It's completely invisible. And it isn't black. It isn't like there's a dark spot behind my eyes. It isn't even blurry. It's plain nowhere. Thereby hangs the tail. Most of us assume, as a matter of common sense, that space is nothing. This is not important. It has no energy. But as a matter of fact, space is the basis of existence. How could you have stars without space? Stars shine out of space. Something comes out of nothing. And in just the same way, if you listen in an unprejudiced way with your ears to find out, you see, I've got these sense organs here, and I'm going to trust them to find out what is going on, what really is. And you listen. And you hear all these sounds coming out of silence. Silence is the origin of sound, just as space is the origin of stars, just as woman is the origin of man. So, also, if you listen and pay real attention to what is, you will discover that there is no past, no future, and no one listening.